Hey, welcome back kids. This is Mr. Pike with another drawing for our Onshape certification. Today we're going to be looking at our part design, part studio, and we're going to look at the second part, which is a Revolve feature. So what that'll be is in Onshape, inside of our part design using part studio folder, we're going to go to create, and we're going to create a document. And we're going to title this Revolve, and I always put my last name in there. It's entirely up to you, but I highly recommend you use some naming convention that is consistent. And once we set OK, we'll have our feature tree, our quick access toolbar, options menu, graphics window, and then we'll get into our editing here. And when we draw this part, we're going to Shift S to open up the sketch feature. We will select the plane that we want to draw it on, and we're going to draw this on the front plane. And once we draw this, well, actually, I don't want to do that. When we sketch this, we're actually going to sketch this in the right plane. And a cool feature here in Onshape is you can right-click and hit View Normal to Sketch Plane, and it will give us our two-dimensional transparent sketch plane to draw on. Once we're here, you can hit L is what I would use. You can also go to the options bar at the top and select line. And we're just going to gently draw the overriding geometric shape. And I'm not paying too much attention to the overall dimensions at this point or the constraints. I'm just trying to get the general shape that I can see in the cross section. And once I'm done drawing those object lines, I want to go back, and in order for me to mirror this, I'm going to need some construction lines. So I can select line and then construction, and I can draw my two line construction lines here. Let's put these on the same perpendicular path. And what I have now is I have 1/2 of my cross-section view that I would like, and I have my two construction lines that I'm going to need. One will be my mirroring axis, which is this vertical construction line, and the second one will be my dimensioning axis for the diameter of the hole inside. So now I want to go ahead and mirror this, and the way I do that is along the top. I can come up here and search for the mirror command, which is up here, and a couple of things I'm going to need. First is to select the line that I'm going to use as my mirror axis. So I'm going to select my vertical Y to the sky, and then I want to select my entities. So you can go through and you can start selecting these if you want. Another way is if you're going to mirror all of these entities, I can go ahead and just draw a box around them, and it will pre-select all of those entities and then mirror it across the mirror line. All right, now the next thing we want to do here is we want to go ahead and add our dimensions. So on my key, it is D for dimension, or along my options bar, I can go ahead and select dimension from the options bar. And I recommend that we do the largest dimension first. It depends on how you laid this out. And we're going to do the dimensioning window, which means I'm going to select my line. I'm going to select the horizontal construction line, and then I'm going to pull my dimension below, so that it actually gives me the overall diameter. And what I'm going to notice here is, oh, I had made a mistake. Once I drop this in, you're going to see that this is the US imperial, which is inches, and that's not what I want. I actually want this to be in the metric form. So let's delete that, and I need to change my units. So in the top left, next to Onshape, I can open up my document menu, and I'll scroll down to workspace units. And I'm going to want to change two things. Number one is the length from US imperial to the metric. So this will be millimeter. And then down here for mass, I'm going to change it from pound to kilogram. And you're going to hit OK. And once I do that, I've actually closed out my sketch. So I will need to right click and edit this sketch. And now I can come back and I can select D for dimension. And I can then dimension these. Oops, let's not do it that way. Let's make sure that we select that and our construction line and drag it down. We got to be careful. I'm getting it too close. Let's try this one more time. Now we'll keep it out. There we go. 25. This dimension from here down is, whoops. And if you get it right on, as I'm doing, it's going to go ahead and try to auto-select to the horizontal construction line. So it may take a little bit of work there. I can then add my third dimension here, 165. And let's see, then we have 200. And we have our final dimension, which is 250. Now we can go ahead and do our width dimensions. And we have our interior dimension, or the distance inside here, which will be where we have our tread components, which will actually be 40. Well, if we want to do that, I would do the outside first, because you'll see what would happen there. Since I drew it originally and it was too narrow, I'm going to need to go ahead and add this 75 component. This dimension here is, I believe it's 100. And then we can come in and have this dimension now put in at 40. And we should be good from there. And now that I have my geometric shape done, I have all of my constraints in. Sometimes whether they're the geometric constraints or they're dimension constraints, I can go ahead and finish the sketch. And I'm going to probably want to jump into isometric view, because I want to get into 3D modeling now, and I'm going to want to see that realm. And I can go ahead and revolve. Once I revolve, you're going to check the geometric shape that you want to revolve. I'll want to select the axis that I want to revolve around. And from here we have our wonderful wheel that we've now made. And the planes, a couple things that you can start doing. You can start turning the planes off over here in the feature tree by highlighting and toggling them on or off. Or if you wanted to get rid of them all at once, you can select P, which will delete. And that is our wheel. So head up for the next one that we're going to work on. The next activity we will be looking at is the sweep command.